The ACC was an absolute mess this year, and we've got one of the more intriguing conference title matchups that we've had in years past. Virginia will take on Duke, a rematch from a game just a couple of weeks ago where Virginia won this one handedly, 34-17. But this is a really interesting one. Virginia, if they win, they're in the college football playoff. If Duke wins, it opens up the door for a lot of madness and a chance for two group of five teams to make the playoffs. So a lot at stake here for both teams. Today we are going to break down this matchup, ultimately who I think comes out on top and what I think the difference makers are on both sides of the ball. Leave a like, subscribe if you are new, comment down below who you think is going to come out on top in this one. But let's kick this off with the Virginia offense. This is an offense that's really interesting because ultimately the quarterback play has been okay. Chandler Morris has been fine. He's thrown for 2,400 yards. He's got over 15 touchdowns. He's a good quarterback. But do I think he's the reason why they're winning games? Not really. And ultimately, I think that this immediately comes down to the ground game. Virginia has been very good on the ground this year. Running back Jamari Taylor has been a huge difference maker for the Cavaliers with nearly 1,000 yards on the season. He's a really good back, and I don't think a lot of people are giving him his flowers, but this is a player that has really good speed, or really good power, I should say. He takes care of the football, and he's been able to make plays as a receiving threat, over 185 yards through the air. He is the focal point of this Virginia offense, and this offense runs through him. They love to run power. They love to give him the ball on early downs to make it second and third and manageable. And it's been working for Virginia all season long. Chandler Morris as well has really been a threat on the ground for Virginia all season long. He's got 302 yards on the ground. He's a good rushing quarterback, and that's ultimately what I think Virginia is going to try to do. They're going to try to run the ball, which I don't blame them. That has been where they have seen so much of their success all season long. But I don't think this is a team that is just a ground and pound sort of team. They have playmakers on the boundary, particularly at wide receiver. And it feels like each year we're talking about Virginia having some really good receiving weapons. They had Malachi Fields last year. They had Malik Washington the year before that. And this year, it's Trell Harris, who's had a really strong season for the Cavaliers, nearly 800 yards on the season. He has been their number one receiver all season long, and he's got what they're looking for. 6 foot, 200 pounds. He is going to be the difference maker for Virginia on the boundary, where I think they might have to put the ball through the air. All season long, this is a Virginia team that offensively, I think they've been okay. I don't know that this is a game-changing, game-breaking offense, and the grades kind of reflect that. They've been kind of middle of the pack most of the season, but they do have a really good defense, particularly in terms of defending the run. They tackle well, and I think they are pretty good in coverage. This is a really strong coverage unit that Virginia has, led by Devin Neal, who is their highest graded defender per PFF. He's having a really strong season in his first year with Virginia. He is a difference maker, and they have some guys that can get after the quarterback. Mitchell Melton, Daniel Rickert, Fisher K-Mac, they've got 3 guys that have been able to consistently create pressure and make a difference. And I think that is something that Virginia has in their back pocket. They've got guys that I think can get after the quarterback. They've got some playmakers on the back end for them as well. And if they're able to control time and possession, run the ball, they can win against anybody. And I think they've shown that all season long. They have been a team that has tried to control time of possession, run the ball, not really put too much pressure on Chandler Morris, and it's working. But this is a Virginia team that has been in a lot of really close games over the last month. Really every one of their matchups, other than the last 2, have been within 1 to 2 scores. And this is a Duke team that I'm really intrigued by because yes, they're 7-5, and it's kind of a joke that they're even in this situation. But this is a pretty interesting group of this is a pretty interesting Duke team because I actually think there is a path to victory because I think the quarterback battle pretty clearly favors Duke. I think Darian Mensah has been one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football this season. He's got over 3,500 yards on the season with 28 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's got a really good arm. He makes good decisions with the ball. He's been incredibly accurate. They've got something here with Darian Mensah. In his first year transferring in from Tulane, I think he could have a really big day. He played well against Virginia a couple of weeks ago. I think that Darian Mensah is very much the difference maker here. And he's got some receivers that have been really, really good for him. Cooper Barcade has been this team's leading receiver, but Nate Shepard out of the backfield's making plays. Quayshawn Brown's having a good season. This is a Duke team that wants to air the ball out. They are a vertical passing team, and I think they've got the quarterback that can make this happen. I think Mensah is the better quarterback. The offensive line is good for Duke, don't get me wrong, but where I think they are better is in terms of their run blocking. Pass blocking has been up and down at times this year for Duke, and they've probably allowed a little bit more pressure. 4 of the starters on the offensive line have allowed over 20 pressures this season. They've got to take care of Darian Mensah, which unfortunately they haven't been able to do as much as I think they would like to. But I also think this Duke defense, coached by Manny Diaz, has a real chance to have a statement type of game. They've got a couple of guys on the back end and Chandler Rivers, who I think are really great defensive backs. The ball skills are phenomenal. I'm a big fan of both of these guys. Chandler Rivers is a guy that I love coming into this year. 5'10", 185 pounds, but the coverage is phenomenal. The ball skills are there. I think they're going to put him on an island with Virginia's best receiver and just go one-on-one. They've got a pass rush, though, as well, with Wesley Williams, Vincent Anthony, Aaron Hall. They've got 3 guys that I think can get after the quarterback. This is a weird one because I don't really think either of these teams are that good, and I don't know that even their fan bases would disagree with me. I've spent a lot of time going through both of these teams. I don't know that either of these teams are playoff teams, but obviously there is a team that has to come out on top in this game. And this is a conference that has had a lot of uncertainty. The offensive line of Duke is a bit up and down, while the Virginia offensive line is quite good. If we are going skill positions in quarterback, I'm favoring Duke in this one. And I know they lost to Virginia just a couple of weeks ago, but I think I'm going to take Duke to win this game. I just think that Darian Mensah is the difference maker. They've got the guy that I trust with the ball in his hands in a close game. I think he's going to be able to make a play. Duke has had a pretty strong season in terms of getting after the quarterback. Run defense, they haven't been as great at. Jamari Taylor, I think, could have a big day, but ultimately, I like what this Duke team can do in the passing game. I like the defense just a little bit more. I think they've got some more playmakers. I'm going to take Duke to just throw a wrench in the entire college football playoff, and I think they have a chance to really spice things up a little bit. But I'd love to hear from you guys. Who do you think is going to come out on top in this game? It's a really weird matchup. Don't feel great about either of these teams. Leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.